Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John and it is almost 9:30 on a Saturday night, and this is actually my second time trying to record this video. I actually got it made and I wasn't satisfied with it because, first of all, when I was recording it's hot. It is hot here in this house. It's hot outside, all right? And if I turn my fan on, my fan just makes this weird noise the entire time, all right? And it's very distracting, and it shows up in the video and it doesn't sound good. So the first time I tried to make this video, you can see the sweat coming off of me. I'm like, that doesn't look good. I don't want to do that. So what I've done now is I finally, for the first time this year, I've turned my cooler on, my swamp cooler, whatever you want to call it. It's the central cooling or whatever. And hopefully it's feeling a lot cooler in here now. So anyway, this is going to be part one of my June TBR. The reason I'm doing it as part one and part two is because when I did it as part one, it was like 35, almost 40 minutes long. And I'm thinking nobody wants to hear me talk that long. All right. So I decided to break it up. I've got 12 books. I'll do 6 books in this one video, 6 books in the next. All right. So anyway, the first one I'm going to talk about is Devolution, and this is by Max Brooks, and this is an account of the Rainier Sasquatch Massacre. And I don't think it means that the Sasquatch were massacred. I get a feeling it means that the Sasquatch did the massacring, the massacrer and the massacree, whatever, Anyway, this is a buddy read that I'm doing with Josh at Working Man Reads. I'll try to remember to leave a link to Josh's channel in the description below. Also, before we go any further, if you notice that my intro is just a little bit different than it has been in recent memory, it is because I accidentally deleted that video, my intro video, so I had to quickly put one together, all right? So there you go. All right, moving along, the next book I'm going to talk about, I saw this in Barnes & Noble, and I absolutely fell in love with this cover, and I'm talking about Goblin. Now, Goblin follows along the line of books like Blackwater by Michael McDowell and The Green Mile by Stephen King, in that it is a novel, but it is a novel that is made up of 6 novellas. Now, I don't know if he released these novellas separately. I don't think he did, but what it is Goblin is a town, and when you read these 6 novellas, they reveal something about the town that is supposed to be kind of sinister, kind of a dirty or a spooky secret or something like that. Anyway, you have a prologue and an epilogue, but then you have the 6 novellas, and they are A Man in Slices, Camp, and that is K-A-M-P, Happy Birthday Hunter, Presto, A Mix-Up at the Zoo, and finally The Hedges. So yeah, that is Goblin. And look at this cover. I mean, this is just gorgeous. Whoever did this, you know what? I want to look up the artist. I'm going to see if I can find the artist on this, because I just think they did a great job. Let me see here. Well, it says 2017, but just now released, it looks like. Illustration by Dina Warner. Yeah, I got to look her up, Anyway, this is Goblin. Yeah, Goblin. Turn it around here. Alrighty. All right, next up, this is a little short story collection called Boarded Windows, Dead Leaves. And this is by Michael Jess Alexander. I believe he self-published this. It looks like indie publishing. That's not taking nothing away. Don't get me wrong, man, because some of the indie publishers, man, they put out some great stuff, and this is no exception. Anyway, this is a collection of like 9 stories, it looks like. You got one called Chatterbox, about a college professor who is haunted by the spirit of a former student. You got Space for Amateurs, a science experiment goes horribly awry. And you got another one on the back here, and then you got 6 more stories. That's short, so they're probably, not too long, too lengthy. So I'm looking forward to diving into this one. All right, next up, this is going to be my first time reading Stephen Graham Jones. I've heard a lot of good things about him, like with, Mapping the Interior. What's some of the other ones he's done? He's got a short story that I've got on my Kindle called The Night Cycler, I believe it is. and he's got something to do with mannequins. I can't remember the name of it. I'm sorry. Anyway, but this is the Only Good Indians. And this is about a group of 4 Indian men and their friends. And something happened in their youth, and it's something kind of horrific, a disturbing event, it says. And it kind of puts them in the future. It puts them in the present. It puts them in a desperate struggle for their lives. And they're supposed to be tracked by this entity bent on revenge. And I wonder if the entity might be some kind of Wendigo or something like that. I don't know. I haven't read the book, and I haven't watched reviews of it because I want to go in blind for it. So yeah, that is The Only Good Indians. Alrighty. Okay, moving on. I got 2 more books here. Next one up. Now, the last 2 were gifts to me by Cameron Chaney. If you have not checked out Cameron's channel, then by all means do so, because he's got an awesome channel. The guy knows his horror. The guy loves horror. He loves the stuff like Goosebumps and Point Horror and all that kind of stuff. But he also loves just like your adult horror also. So he's kind of, as far as horror is concerned, he's kind of a jack of all trades kind of guy, all right? Anyway, the first book we got is Standalone. This is by Paul Michael Anderson. All right. They are killers, they are monsters, they are evil. They stalk through summer camps, abandoned hospitals, rundown schools, and isolated houses, hunting anyone foolish enough to visit these places, leaving behind carnage, terror, death, and destruction. Sometimes there are survivors, always there is blood. And they do it to protect and preserve all of existence across the multiverse. But now they are the ones being stalked and hunted, and life as we know it hangs in the balance unless they figure out a way to survive. And that is Standalone by Paul Michael Anderson. All right. Last but not least, we've got from Adam Cesar. I still don't have a copy of his Clown in the Cornfield or Clown in a Cornfield. I just have not had a chance to pick it up. I do want to read it. Like I said, I just haven't gotten around to reading it. I've heard good things about it, and I've heard good things about it. I'm not going to say I've heard bad things because I don't think I have. All right. Anyway, this is one of his early works, and it's called Tribesmen, and this is kind of in the tradition of Cannibal Holocaust and Cannibal Feroz and things like that. 30 years ago, cynical sleazeball director Tito Bronze took a tiny cast and crew to a desolate island. His goal, to exploit the local tribes, spray some guts around, cash in on the 80s Italian cannibal craze. But the vengeful spirits of the island had other ideas, and before long, guts were squirting behind the scenes as well, while the camera kept rolling. Tribesmen is Adam Cesar's blistering tribute to Cannibal Holocaust and Lucio Fulci, a no-bullshit glimpse into grindhouse filmmaking stuffed inside a rocket of tropical non-stop mayhem. Anyway, that is Tribesmen. All right. And that is going to do it for part 1 of this video. Sorry, I smacked my microphone. Don't know why. It wasn't even bad. Anyway, that is going to do it for part 1 of this TBR video, June TBR. And I'm going to post this on Monday, and I'm going to try to get the second one made, and I'll post that one on Tuesday. And until then, it is still the weekend, so you guys enjoy your weekend. And please be careful out there and stay safe. Thank you. Bye.